Hi, everybody. Welcome to No Ordinary Life. Welcome to a career workshop on how to create a career development plan. Today, we're going to have a good time learning all about career development and why it's important to make a career development plan. So, I'm going to start by introduction. As you can see, my guest is here, Priscilla. She'll introduce herself very soon. But for now, I'm going to start by introducing myself. So Priscilla, I'm just going to take you off a little bit, and then when it's your time, I'll spotlight you, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, fantastic. So, if you're just joining us, actually, please put your name in the chat um, and where you're joining us from. Please put your name in the chat and where you're joining us from. So, yes, this is going to be replayed on YouTube, so um, I don't want to take too much time with the introduction. So, basically, my name is Claudia Newton. I'm the founder of No Ordinary Life. I started No Ordinary Life in, I'll keep you back on just while we wait for people. I started No Ordinary Life in 2016, and because I struggled with really finding my career plan and my purpose and everything. So I feel like this session today is very, very important because it's a journey that I think we're all still on, depending on no matter what career you're in or what level of career you find yourself in, whether you just started a job or you're mid level or higher level, it's always still important to have a career development plan. So, as I was saying, if you just join us, please put your name in the chat and what country you're joining us from. I'm not too worried about the numbers right now because I know that this will be replayed on YouTube and then people can always um, get as much as they can. So, as I was saying, I started No Ordinary Life because I was struggling with my career path and finding what my purpose was. So, I decided to have a platform where I spoke to people about their career plan, their career paths, and how they felt they were going. And I found that lots of people who had even completed university and studied different courses still didn't know what they wanted to do in terms of their career. And so I felt like a platform where we spoke to people about preparing effectively for their careers, and really taking the time to think about what they wanted to do would be ideal, based on my experience of going through all the levels of education and still not knowing where I was in terms of my career path. So, yeah, No Ordinary Life is all about preparing people for effective careers. We're very passionate about developing the whole person. And so we also do sessions on financial well being and also mental well being and personal development. But a key aspect of what we do is career development and career path. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite my special guest, Priscilla, to share a little bit about herself, and then we can get this session started. Yes, so Priscilla, I'm going to put you on shortly. In the meantime, if you've just joined us, please put your country that you're joining us from in the chat. Yes, so Priscilla, I think if you're ready, are you ready for the
Yeah.
session
Yes.
or okay?
Yes, I'm ready. All right. Thank you very
Okay.
much, Claudia. I'm excited to be here. And I must say, No Ordinary Life is doing a good work because when it comes to careers, there's always a challenge, especially coming from this part of the world where, I mean, we don't have some of the resources that others have access to. So sometimes being able to figure out exactly what you want to do is a challenge. But thank God, organizations like No Ordinary Life exist and it has taken up the mandate. And I'm excited to be here. Yes, I'm excited to be here. And as we go through this session, I hope that at the end, we'll be able to have our own career development plans, no matter the level. So whether entry level, whether you are starting out, or whether you are in your mid level or you are already established, this is a good session to have. So thank you for the opportunity. Yes, so Something, yeah, about me. Yes, so I'm a career coach, and I'm a certified resume writer as well. I work with Hub Career, and I've previously served as a coordinator for student life and career services. I'm passionate about careers, helping individuals to thrive in their careers, to start out in their careers. And I'm also very passionate about mentorship. Yes, mentoring the younger ones. And so I have a mentorship program, which is Helper and Help Mentorship Program, which I use as a platform to also help some of the mentees. Yes, so I'm excited to be here. And yes, thank you very much. I think this is all about me. Yes, I'm just passionate about careers, helping individuals. I do career coaching, I do interview coaching as well. Yes, everything about careers. I'm up for it. Right, thank you.
Okay.
So Claudia, can we proceed
Yes, so
now?
we can keep going with the slides now. Or should we do the poll?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I think we should do that.
Okay.
We should do that.
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay, so we don't have, well, we're expecting a few more people to join, but I think we can still get on with the poll. It will be more effective if we had
All right.
more people, but I think we can, just in terms of timing, we want to make sure we're doing things according to time. We will
Yeah.
start the poll now. So we wanted to find out a little bit more about people's um, background and experiences and where if they currently have any kind of career plan in place. So we're going to be doing a poll. I'm going to put the link to join in the chat. I'll also put a QR code if you wanted to scan the QR code. So you have two options. Thank you, Emmanuel, for joining from Malawi. Thank you. Hopefully more people will join us. So yes, we have three countries represented here. We have Ghana, UK, and Malawi, which is great. So let me see if we've got this. Yep, that's the link. I'm even going to join myself and also do the Slido. So if you can click on the link in the chat so we can do the answer the questions. Let me go. I'll also present the screen as well.
All right.
And hopefully you can all see my screen. So you can put your name in there. It's going to ask you to join the quiz. Put your name in there. Let me know if you have any issues with joining. Priscilla, how are you getting on? Emmanuel, how are you getting on? So the QR code is also on the present screen, and there's also a number as well. So if the link is not working for you, just go onto slido.com and then type in that code when it asks you to type in the code. Emmanuel, I don't see anyone else on the Slido. Just wondering if people have been able to join. Okay. Um, should we? Okay. Oh, we have more people here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Maybe we'll wait for one more person and then we'll start the Slido. Okay, because of time, I think we're going to start the Slido. Okay. So first question, do you have any career mentors or role models? Oh dear. Um, Submit your answer and press select. Okay. So we have a yes. All right. The next question. Have you already identified your short-term and long-term career goals? Okay, good. And then we have a few other questions as well to go. I want to see if there's anyone else who's joined us. No, okay. We'll keep going then. Are you currently employed? Yes or no? And the next question, how long have you been working? Okay, so people are typing. I'll just give you some time to type. So all of the information that you provide here will help Priscilla to know more about what people's levels of experience is in terms of work, and also if they have a career development plan in place. So Priscilla is taking notes. Okay, so we have different answers here: 10 years, 3 years, and I haven't started working. That's okay. That's even better because you can actually have the information beforehand on how to create a career development plan. So there's other people who said they haven't started working yet. Okay, all right. So I think we'll leave it there. There's other questions. I don't know if you just joined us. Um, okay, so there's more people. Um, There were other questions to be answered, but I think only two people answered them. So we'll try this question again with everyone that's just joined now, with the five people who've joined. Okay. So, do you have any career mentors or role models? Please click on your answer and click on send. Click send, or it's not going to register. Okay. All right. So, more than half of the people have a career mentor or role model. That's good. The next question. Don't forget to click on your answer, then click on send. Okay, so most people haven't identified their short-term and long-term career goals. Okay, so thank you very much for your feedback, everybody. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and then I shall hand over back to Priscilla. Yes. If you just joined
All
us,
right.
please put
Thank you,
your entry in
Claudia.
the chat. Sorry, Priscilla.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I mean, for taking the poll, this will be really helpful. And I'm happy to have, so we have entry level, we have some middle level. And so that's really, and so I will try to meet the needs of each and every. All right. So we are just going to look at create a career development plan. How to create a career development plan. Line for today, we are just going to look at understanding. Okay, so we are just going to look at understanding career development. We are going to look at how to set how to do a skills assessment, and then we're also going to look at setting smart goals, and then we are going to look at resources that will help us to be able to come up with a career development plan. And then we're actually going to work through the plan. So there'll be a sample to share, and then I'll walk you through how to track your progress as well. And so this is our outline for today. And hopefully with a short time, you'll be able to go through all of this. Yes. So I'll encourage everyone, if you have a pen, a book, your phone, you can be taking some notes, especially, yes, because at the end of this session, it's even possible you may have your career plan in hand already. Yes. So take some notes. Now, there'll be some activities here and there, one or two notes down. So I'll encourage you to move alongside me. Thank you very much. All right, so we'll just get right to it. So then for us to look at what is career development, what does it involve, and what is its importance? Because before we can now go into how to even, it's very important for us to understand it. So what is career development? What is career development? So development has to do with an ongoing process. It is our skills of acquiring new skills, new experience, new knowledge to advance our career goals. And if you can see the slide properly, you can see that I have highlighted some of the words. They are boldened because those are the key words. So it's an ongoing process. Everyone is trying to build a career. Everyone is trying to, some are trying to elevate in their careers. But if without any career development in place, you will not be able to get to where you want to, because with the development you get to actually skills, new knowledge which are essential for your career. Imagine you started out, and some of you, but imagine you just started working and then in 10 years time you have the same skill, the same knowledge, the same experience. I don't think your relevance will add in 10 years. Your relevance, yes. And so it's very important for us to have a career development plan. And it's very important. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of diligence, but it's always worth it. So what are some of the importance? So first is that it makes, once you have a career development plan or you have that insight, you become relevant in the, like we all know, the market keeps changing, so many things keep coming up, so many skills, emerging technologies, emerging tools. So once you are able to learn and apply these skills, you become relevant. You become relevant. Then it's also in alignment with your interests. As you are continually developing your career, you realize that shifts. Your interest, probably you were first, you were so interested, you realize now you are moving towards humanitarian with social a career development plan. It's align yourself to your interests, your current interests. Another reason why it's important, it boosts your self-confidence. I remember a colleague of mine who started at work to do something, and it was quite new to him, very new to him. He told me, and he said when he was asked to do it, gas like, am I the one they're asking to do this? Because he couldn't even see himself doing that because he has not learned any new thing. But his supervisor was expecting that he will be able to do it. And so once we are able to develop our careers, we realize that we are confident. We are confident in our abilities. Anything that you bring to us, we know you will be able to. Probably some 5 years ago, you couldn't use even like, let's say, Google Workspace, but you've learned Google Workspace. So if there's any task at work, that is, there's so much confidence. Okay, and it also provides a roadmap for reaching your long-term goals. Once you have a plan in place, it provides a roadmap. There's always a roadmap. And so with that clarity, and then you'll be able to, once you are able to use the plan, once you're able to go according to the plan, you realize that you are actually getting to where you want to be, your long term, your long term. Okay. All right. So we'll now quickly go to so they've said their plan already. So the first step is to do a self-assessment. And this is so important. Know ourselves. Do we know our skills? Do we know our abilities? Do we know our interests? Do we know our values? Do we know our personalities? Are valued because you can't work anywhere which is not in alignment with your values. And it's very important for us to do self-assessment periodically. And this is the first step in actually creating your career plan. First, you have to look out for your strengths. What are your strengths? What skills do you have? When we talk about hard skills, the technical skills, which ones are you proficient in? What are your proficiency levels? Are you at the beginner level, advanced level, intermediate level? You need to know this. So during the self-assessment, you'll be able to outline the skills that you have, soft skills, leadership, teamwork. You'll be able to assess yourself that these are the skills I have, these are my interests, these are my values, these are the kind of roles that my personality will fit in. That to look out for during the self-assessment. The second one has to do with the weaknesses. And the weaknesses, we are looking at two things. Areas where you are proficiency. Probably you are let's say a virtual assistant. You're a virtual assistant and you realize that you are an administrative virtual assistant, but now it looks like the SEO or the social media management virtual assistants are really, they are in demand, right? So you realize that there is a skill that you need. You don't have that proficiency. So being able to actually identify that is very important. So areas where you lack proficiency or you are exposed to it, and then you also have areas where you want to improve. Sometimes you are good at something, but you are not at your best. So that's also a place where you can a place that you can these kind of skills. So we are looking at skill gaps. So probably you are a good player, but you realize that there's someone who is much better when it comes to or leadership or conflict. Then you realize that okay, so if I want to be like this, then I have to be able to fill the gap, right? So a skill gap and knowledge gap. What courses do I need? What kind of new knowledge do I have to acquire? The 21st century knowledge is not the same as the 20th century. There's so much going on. And now with AI and all of that, there's so much going on. You don't want to be left behind. So what kind of knowledge are you also lacking? The third one is your experience. What kind of experience are you lacking? Probably you've been working in finance for all your life, right? Or you're even now starting out. But you don't have the experience required. For job descriptions, they even indicate maybe they want this number of years, 0 to 3 years to 5 years, and all of that. Maybe you don't have the experience. This is also the right place to be able to identify and to note it down. Then the last one will be your qualifications. Yes. So what do you already have in terms of academic qualifications, certifications? Which courses have you taken? It's also important to note what you already have. You want to note what you have, and then you now seek to be able to improve those that you are lacking, or to add on to those ones that you don't have at all. So that is for self-assessment. That is the first step in this process. So now I just want to ask if you can just take note, just write down your strengths, write down your weaknesses, write down your qualifications. Remember, I mentioned that if you are going alongside us, by the time we finish, you should have your career development plan. So just take a minute and then note down your areas of strength, maybe about two of them, and then weaknesses, areas that you want to improve, what skills you want to acquire, what knowledge you want to acquire, what experience you want to acquire. You can even type it in the chat box and then Claudia can read it out. Yes, I would really want to hear from you. What strengths do you have in good with communication? Are you good with leadership? Are you good with let's say some softwares? You are very good with managing social media, or you are very good with engineering and projects. Yes, so I would love to at least hear from some of you. So you can type those ones in there you want to improve, skills you want to acquire, experience you want to acquire, and the knowledge you want to also acquire. So I'll just wait. Claudia, if there's anything you can alert me, right?
Yes, I can do that.
Sure.
Yes, I'll put it on the screen if it's
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay. It's there. Okay. All right. So should I just proceed? Then you read it out to me later.
Yes, if anything
What?
comes in, I'll alert you and then I'll read it out. Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you. All right. So the second step of developing a career plan is to set your goals. Goal setting. And I know we are familiar with setting goals, but we want to go deeper. I want to look at smart goals. We want to look at smart goals. So what are smart goals? Um, Smart goals, the SMART is an acronym. So S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, R stands for relevant, and then D stands for time bound. So every goal must have all of these features. And I'm going to explain what goes into specific goals. I'm going to explain all of that. So a specific goal, when a goal is specific, is clearly defined. When a goal is specific, it's clearly defined. Probably you want to, instead of saying, I want to become, let's say, a virtual assistant, or I want to become a career coach, right? In the next, let's say, 6 months, or in the next 6 years, I want to become a career coach. What kind of career coach do you want to be? There are many different types of career coaches, and there are many areas of specialization. So you want to be specific with your goals, measurable, measurable. So, for example, you want to, let's say, take a course. You want to take a professional course in, let's say, accounting, right? You want to take a course in accounting. So if it's measurable, you'll be able to see that, okay, at the end of the period, it's measurable. We can actually see that you have been certified. That makes it measurable, right? Something we can actually measure. Maybe it was this before and now we can see it like this, or there's been an improvement in terms of percentages and all of that. So that's a measurable goal. Attainable, of course, it should be something that is not over the top. It has to be something that can be done within the set time, and with all the other factors. It has to be attainable, not setting goals which are over ambitious. It's good to, I mean, to have faith, but sometimes you have to just when it comes to, let's say, career development, yes, you have to be very specific and also put down attainable goals, right? And then the R stands for relevant. Relevant. How relevant is it to your career goals? If you want to be a software engineering, what are you doing with let's say, what are you doing with which one can I even use? Software engineer. What are you doing with, let's say, virtual assistant tools, right? Yes. What are you doing with that? Or social media? Unless you want to maybe move into another aspect, you want to work in a social media space in an engineering in the engineering industry. But your goal has to be relevant to your long-term goals. It should not be too cut away from it. It has to be relevant. And then time bound, of course, time bound is time. So there has to be a specific time frame. Is it the next day, the next 3 months, within the next 3 months, I should have, the next 5 years, I should have achieved it. So that is what goes into time bound. So you just want to look at some of the examples of the goals, and I put down two categories, because we have short-term goals and we have long-term goals. Yes, and I realized some indicated that they did not have short-term goals or long-term goals. So short-term goals, any goal from between 0 to 2 years is a short-term goal, right? And the long-term goal is 10 years and above. But there's also the medium, yes. So the one in the medium, yes, the medium term goals are also in the middle. But for the purpose of this presentation, I just focus on the short and the long term goals. So I'll just read out a number of them just for us to have an idea. You want to gain a certification in project management by completing the project management course within 6 months by dedicating 10 hours per week to studying and passing the exam. Yes, so this is an example of it, very specific. So gain a certification in project management is very specific. Project management is, there's also a timeline within 6 months. And how are you going to do it? By dedicating 10 hours per week to studying and to passing the exam. That's a short-term goal. So there are different ways of crafting this, but the main thing is that every goal has to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. You give yourself a time frame, you make it specific, it's relevant to your long-term goals, it's attainable, and we can actually measure that. Those are the components of a good goal, right? So in the crafting of a career development plan, the first one is to do a self-assessment. The second one is to set smart goals, and this is all, the goals have to be set based on your career, your long-term goals. Once you have your long-term goals, then you can use this to work on your short-term goals, and then you'll be moving up from there. So taking actionable steps every day about your long-term goal, right? Yeah, so that's the second step. All right. So when it comes to the goals also, there's one other very important thing. It's very important for us to be able to find the right skills and the right certifications for the goal, right? It's very important. So probably if you want to be a career coach, and then due to some misinformation, or you realize that different a course which is not in relation. So it's very very right for your it's very very important. So you have to, that's why we have mentors as well. And I was happy to hear people on the in the meeting actually have mentors. So mentors are there to guide us, and with this, they're able to help us. So if you want to be a project management professional, there is no way you can do that without taking the project management certification program. You have to take it, yes. So being able to find and identify the right skills, the right experience, and the right knowledge that you need is also very crucial. So in setting your goals, you have to be able to do a lot of background work. You have to reach out to people, ask questions, seek for informational interviews to be able to make sure that you are not missing anything, right? So when I was in tertiary, I remember the first, I was level 100. So when I got there, I had a course, of course, the course I read already, and then I had the option to choose another course, the minor course. And then in choosing the minor course, I remember one professor advised me. I don't know what happened, but he just said I should do he mentioned a certain course that he wanted me to pursue. I said, okay, but I don't like this course. And then I chose another one. I registered, and that was what I did. But today, that is the course I should have done right from the beginning. Though I found other ways to still get that knowledge, I should have done it right from there. So if you don't have the right information, it can affect your career development. So it's very essential for us to be able to identify the right kind of skill that we need, the right kind of certification we need, the right kind of knowledge that we need. All right. So we will just want to proceed with what are the other essentials aside the goals, aside having the outside doing the self-assessment, what are the other goals or resources, sorry, what are the other resources needed for your career development plan? We'll look at a few of them. All right. So the other essentials, Claudia, can you just go to the next slide? Okay. So the next resource, which is very essential for developing a career plan, has to do with, yes, other essentials for your career plan. Yes. So the next one has to do with mentorship. Mentorship is one of them. Mentorship is one of them. And you'll see later why we need mentors in our, even in the crafting of our career development plan. I think I've even mentioned one already, but they play a crucial role in creating our career development plan. So that is one. And then also skill development courses. Now, in recent times, there are so many of them: Udemy, EDX, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. There are so many of such resources that we have at our disposal. Some are totally free, and I've benefited from some of them. Some are also paid for. So you have to take advantage of some of these skill development workshops and webinars. Like this one, for instance, is free, right? And it's something that is going towards building, helping to build that career that you've been yearning for, or helping you to thrive in your career. Because once you have the plan, it works really well. It works really well. And then joining professional associations, that's another resource. So networking, which so I remember there's this quote that I came across. It says that your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. What are you worth? Check your network. That is how much you are worth, right? So it's very important for us to also network with the right people, people who are on the same path, right? So if you want to be a software engineer, you should have software engineer peers or seniors or mentors. They have a role to play in your career development plan, right? And if you're able to join a professional association, that's even better because you have access to so many of them. You can ask them any kind of question. Even if you are looking for a job, these are people who can help you. So these are other essentials needed for a career development plan. So aside your self-assessment, you also need to set your goals. You also need to make sure that you know the where to find some of these courses. You also have mentors. You also want to make sure that you have your network. You have people who can actually help you to build your career in your network, right? So signing up for this webinar is one of the things. Is one of the things, right? So these are some of the other essentials needed for the career development plan. Yes, and then yes, I mentioned networking already. So networking is also part of a certification. And also another additional one, seeking hands-on experience. Seeking hands-on experience. It's not all about, yes, you can take the courses, you can be certified, but if you are not practicing, if there's no way for you to apply, and this especially for those who are yet to start working, seek volunteer opportunities. Seek volunteer opportunities. And even if you are working, seek other opportunities to be able to acquire the experience that you need, right? Yeah, so these are all essential for developing your plan. Yes, these are all essentials for developing your plan. Now let's go into the plan itself. Yes, I think I'm right on time. Yeah, so let's go into the plan itself. So developing the plan. Developing the plan. Yes. So developing the plan, you have to still make sure that your career, sorry, your SMART goals are intact. Now, what are we going to do with the SMART goals? You have to break them down into actionable steps. You have to break them down, and I have a sample to show you. But you have to break them down into actionable steps. So if your long-term goal is to be a software engineer in, let's say, the next 10 years, right? Then you have to be able to, how do you do that on a daily basis? That is when you have to bring it down to your to your short-term goals, and then you'll be able to come up with that do towards the long-term goal. So breaking your goals down into actionable steps things that you can do daily, things that you can do weekly, monthly, annually. That is the way to go. So setting the SMART goals does not end there, but breaking the goals down into actionable steps. That is the way to go. All right, so this is just a sample of the career development plan. Yes, this is a sample of the career development plan. Um, all right. Okay, so this is a sample of it. I'll just walk you through it. So we have the career goal, we have skills and certifications needed. We also have action steps. We have the timeline, and then we have the resources needed. So, for example, the first one, we have become a senior project manager in 5 years. That is the career goal. Now, what are the skills and certifications needed? One, project management. Of course, you cannot be a project manager if you are not a certified project management professional. So you need project management, you need leadership, because management comes with it. Management is leadership. You need leadership skills. You need to be able to manage your team. You need team management. You need stakeholder management as well, stakeholder communication. If you're a manager, there are lots of stakeholders that you have to interact with. You should be able to interact with them. So being able to identify that, okay, these are the skills that I need, right? These are the skills that I need. Then now, and you realize that the skills is both hard and soft skills. They are both technical skills, and they are also the soft skills. The soft skills, the leadership, the communication, those are the soft skills. Now we want to look at what are the action steps. What are the So what are the action steps? So one, to research and select a project management course. So you see, the goal is there, the big goal, the long-term goal is there. But now I want to look at what are the action steps to be taken. The first one is to research and select a project management course. You cannot become a project management manager. Sorry, you cannot become a project manager without taking the project management professional course. And now you cannot also take the course without researching and selecting where you are going to take the course, which institution. And then now the other step is to enroll in it, actually enroll in the project management professional certification program. Then three is to seek mentorship from a senior project manager. So you see, the big goal, the big long-term goal has been broken down into actionable steps, right? So the timeline is that within 12 months, be able to complete the certification, and then also take up other leadership trainings. You realize that there was a need for leadership. So this is a case where there was a gap in leadership. So with that, how do you solve that? You have to enroll in a leadership training, right? And so that is the timeline. The resources needed: project management course, leadership workshops, and then mentorship from senior project management. So you realize that everything is in sync. This is just one example. Everything is in sync. Yes. So this is just how to put the career development plan together. This is how it works. So your general goal is there. Then look at what are the skills, what are the certifications I need. Then you go down to the actionable steps. What steps do I need to take towards the main goal? Then the timeline. A timeline is very important. It will keep you on your toes, it will keep you focused. And then now, what are the resources needed? That is also very, very important. So we want to also look at a second one. I think I put in about three, but let's look at the second one. I think we still have some time. So the goal is to obtain a leadership role in education in 3 years. Very specific. A leadership role, not in engineering, not in careers, but in education. And what is the time frame? Within 3 years. So that is the goal, right? This is the goal of an individual, right? So we now want to look at what are the skills needed. So one, leadership and development. Yes, if you want to be, let's say, a registrar in a university, of course, you need to have a strong leadership skill. You have to be very strong when it comes to leadership. You also need to be able to develop a curriculum. Yes, if you want to be a leader in a university and probably be a lecturer, right? So let's look at, maybe you want to be a lecturer. You should be able to develop a curriculum. And also educational technology. Yes, the world is going, and we are going in the way of IT, but we're already there. Yes, we are just exploring other new fields, right? So educational technology, you cannot do without it as well. So that is it also for this one. Now we want to look at what are the action steps that can be taken. So one, what are the action steps? So participate in a leadership and training coaching session, right? That's one. The other option is to participate in a leadership and coaching workshop. This is another way. How do you acquire leadership skills? Participating in a workshop. You can even add being able to volunteer. Probably you want to be a registrar in a university in the next 6 years, like in this one. But from where you sit now, you are far away from that. What can you do? How can you enhance your leadership? Get a role, something that you can volunteer in, where you are able to build your leadership skills. Because soft skills, they are not, they are developed over time. So the more you do them, the more you'll be able to excel at them. But the workshop is just an opportunity for you to gain the knowledge. Then now the experience will be the volunteering. And also you develop participate in a curriculum design workshop. Yes, that is a technical aspect. You have to be in a workshop to be able to develop, to be able to learn how to develop that. So that is there. And yes, like I mentioned, volunteer to lead educational initiatives. Even in your current role, yes, you can volunteer to lead education initiatives. Maybe your company has, as part of corporate social responsibility, they have some initiatives in education. You can volunteer. Tell your boss, I want to lead this. Why are you doing that? It's towards your long-term goal, because you want to enhance your leadership skill, right? You also want to be able to gain experience in leadership in an educational sector. Then the timeline, 6 months for leadership course, right? So there's a set timeline that within 6 months, that leadership course will be taken and completed. And then also participate in ongoing educational projects. So that's the other one. The resources needed. Yes, Coursera or LinkedIn Learning. That's one source of participating in some of these workshops. And the leadership course. Yes, a leadership course as well. And the networking events. Because when you join networking events, you will meet people who may have volunteer roles. There are lots of them online nowadays. On LinkedIn, there's always a company looking for volunteers, for interns. Those are opportunities that you can use. So these are just examples of how you can craft your plan. Yes. And you realize that all the things we talked about at the beginning, doing a skills assessment, if you don't do the self-assessment and identify the skill gaps, you will not be able to put together your career plan. So this is what your career plan should look like on the screen. This is what it should look like with the goals, the long-term goals, and then now the actions, the certifications, and the skills needed. Skills here, we are talking about long-term. Sorry, we are talking about hard skills, we are talking about soft skills, and then also the actionable steps to be taken, and the timeline, the resources needed. And mind you, this is just for the sake of the presentation, just a sample, but it can be longer than this, and it has to be longer than this. Yes, because as you are going on, you realize that you may have to adapt, you have to adjust some of the things, and for a particular goal, you can have about 10 different steps, actionable steps to take. So this is just a sample. I just wanted to put this out there. This is just a sample. Yeah, so once you're able to identify a long-term goal, then you now trickle it down. You come up with the goals, the actionable steps to be taken, things that you can do on a daily basis, things you can do on a weekly basis. Then every day you realize that you are getting closer and closer to your goal. All right. So now that we have the goal, now that we have the plan, yes, you have the career development plan in place. There's one other thing that has to be done. Very, very important. Without that, you may not be successful in your career development. And that is tracking your progress and adjusting your plan. This is very important. You have to track your progress. How far have you come, right? How far have you come? What have you been able to achieve? Probably you said in the next 6 months you would have finished taking the project management course. But the question is, have you been able to do it? If yes, that's good. You celebrate that milestone. If no, what happened? Right? And then if no, you have to now adjust your plan to be able to take the course or to finish the course. Maybe something happened or there was issues about finances, paying the fees and everything. But once you're able to review the plan, then you can be able to adjust some of the things. Probably yes, you missed some of the things. You can now make plans towards them. Right. So your plan is not going to be this static document just lying down. No, it has to be reviewed. And ideally, you should do a 3 month review, a 6 month review, and a 12-month review, that year end review. Every 3 months, take your career development plan, go through it. Have I been able to achieve the things that I said I was going to achieve? If not, then you re strategize, you adjust the plan, right, to make room for them. So you set new objectives if necessary, and then you revise existing ones based on insights gained during the review. That is why it's very important to do the review. And here also, you can count on your mentors. Yes, your mentors, your peers, your accountability partners. They are people you can be accountable to in terms of your plan, right? So they can all make inputs, yes, advice. Probably your mentor will tell you, okay, you were not able to achieve this within the period. Now, how about doing it this way? Because he has experience, he can advise. And once you have that resource and you are able to adjust your plan, review it, and then re-strategize to do exactly what you plan to do, you realize that you are thriving in whatever that you said you wanted to do. You realize that when you are doing your review, you just be checking, because you would have done everything. So it's very important to, number one, track your progress and celebrate milestones. Let's celebrate milestones. I know, yes, in this part of the world, yes, we don't like to celebrate milestones, but let's celebrate milestones. Just you feel good about yourself. I set a goal that in the next 3 months I would have completed a course. Probably I'll be more active on LinkedIn, right? It's all part of it. Or I'll attend a networking event. If you're able to do it, celebrate that. Get something for yourself, reward yourself, right? It's very important. It will encourage you and will keep you going. So this is the other aspect about the career development plan that we have to be very intentional about. So as I conclude, I just want to say that we have a lot of resource at our disposal. And building a great career is not impossible. It's very possible. We just have to be intentional about it. Once you have a plan, it gives you a sense of focus, it gives you a sense of direction. And so, if you're able to put all these things into practice, you realize that your career is thriving. Or if you are now entering, you realize that it's easier. Yes, it's easier for you because you have a plan that you are working with. You don't just get up and go anywhere or reach out to anybody because you have to. But you realize I have to strategically reach out to this person on LinkedIn because this person is in the field that I want to get to. You realize that, okay, I have to now reach out about an informational interview request, right, to that person. And it's all strategic, it's targeted. It's not about just doing anything anyhow. No. Do I have to attend this event? Do I have to volunteer here? Yes, because it is in your plan. That is why it's so important for us to have the plan. So if you're able to go through the steps that I've walked you through. So the first one is to do a self-assessment. Very important. The first step, do a self-assessment. Being able to identify your skills, the skill gaps, being able to identify your strengths, everything that you need, right? Everything you already have, sorry. And then you are now looking at what do you need? What are the knowledge gaps? What are the experience gaps? What are the skill gaps? Right? And then what are the qualifications you also already have? That is the first step. Then the second one is to now go is to now set your SMART goals. Yes, setting goals, very, very important. Set them in a smart way, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and then time bound. That is the third step. Then now you go on to identifying the resources. So you have other resources which are also very essential for that. So networking, mentors, to identify courses, all of these are essential. What are the resources at your disposal? Right? You have to be able to identify them. And because you are going to incorporate all of those in your career development plan. Then now you craft the plan itself. Once you have the plan, now go on. No, I missed the point. So before that, you have to break your goals down to actionable steps, things you can do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a quarterly basis. Then now you put the whole plan together with all the information you have gathered. Then periodically, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you do a review, you track your progress, you adjust it if need be. Right, it's very, very important. The review process is very important. I know sometimes it can be yes, it's like self-evaluation. It's like you are taking exams and you are now marking yourself. Yes, you have to mark yourself where you got wrong. Now try and then make it correct the next time. So it's very important. And also the place of mentors, the place of peers, the place of accountability partners, very important. They are all resources that can help us in crafting and also in working out the plan that we have, right? So, in conclusion, I just want to end with this quote by Mahatma Gandhi. It says that success depends on what you do today. Success depends on what you do today. So, success is not sitting somewhere and then you are waiting to go and just take success. No, it depends on what you do today. Probably in the next 10 years you get to where you want to be, your long-term career goal, you become the project management that you want to be, you become that software engineer you want to be, because you have been consistent with your plan, because every day you are doing something about it, you are reading, you are doing a lot of reading, you are doing researching, you are going for workshops, right? You are reaching out to the right, you are building your network. These are the things that you have to do on a daily basis towards your long-term goal. So success depends on what you do today. All right. Thank you very much. Thank Claudia. I'm done with my presentation and I'm open for questions. Yes, yes. If there is any question that you have, you need some clarification, or you even want to share, you also want to share something about this topic, yes, the floor is open. All right. So I hand over to you, Claudia. Thank you. Yeah, Claudia, can you hear me? All right, so my contact details are also on the screen. Yes, so my email is prisp77@gmail.com. And then my LinkedIn, the link to my profile on LinkedIn is also there. If you're able to craft your plan, you can feel free to just share it with me. I'll be happy to review it for you. Yes, so I hope Claudia you can hear me. All right. Okay, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
I can hear you
fantastic.
now.
So my something happened with my laptop and I don't seem to be able to so I'm connecting with my phone, sorry. Um I'm trying
Okay,
to see if I can close the presentation. Um
okay.
just bear with me. But we had some comments in the comment section. I'll try to see if I can bring them
Mm,
up. Let me
all right.
keep it just the two of us. Just a few comments. So when you mentioned about the self-assessment, John very kindly
Yes.
kind of gave us some feedback. So I'm just going to put what
Okay.
he said on the screen. Oh, not this one.
Mm,
Give me a second. Um, yes, so he mentioned the skills that he's good at. And please, guys, feel free to put your questions
Okay.
in the chat as well. Check questions or contributions, because it's now open for that side of things. Thank you. John mentioned that the skills that
Okay.
he's good at, he's very good at implementing projects. And I don't know what John does
Okay.
as a job, um, but I think, well, that could be a potential career path if that's, yeah, yeah.
Sure, sure. Implementing projects, yes. So project management, yes, is definitely a career for this skill, this strength that John has said. So John, it's good. So work at it, put together your plan, and then yeah, you are good to
Okay.
go.
And then he also said the skills he's not good at is communication. Um,
Communication.
so I think well, it's good to know what you're not good at because I think it helps you to be able to know
Sure.
what you have to work towards. You don't stay stagnant as a
Exactly.
person. You should always be developing.
Mhm,
And I think project management
mhm,
involves a lot of communication. So that's definitely something that you'll have to work on. And I hope you're working on.
yeah.
Yes. Any comments, Priscilla?
Yes, I did. I'll just buttress what you said. Yes, with project management, you have to coordinate teams, right? There'll be a lot of stakeholders. And so when it comes to communication, I wish you had specified which type of communication because it's verbal and
Mm,
also written. But then in both cases, it has to do with people, right? So how can you develop this? If it's written, of course, I know when it comes to reading, when it comes to developing or improving your reading, your writing skills, sorry, you can do a lot of reading. And also as you read, you enhance your vocabulary and they are all stored up in your memory, right? And then you also have to try writing out. Yes, so try a lot of writing as well. That's also very good. And then when it comes to verbal, so verbal, yes, that one has to do with basically yes, interpersonal skills. So yes, being able to relate with people, get people to do as a project manager, being able to get people to do things in a way that everybody will be happy. Even if they will not be happy, yes, you would have gotten them to do what they have to do. Yes, so you have to be able to work your way around people. You have to be
mm,
emotionally intelligent. You should be able to resolve conflict. Yes, because of course conflict will happen, but you should be able to work with people, be a good um team manager. Yes, because if you are a good team manager and you still don't have good communication, it can affect the work. Yes, and so with this, basically you just have to practice, do more emotional intelligence. Yeah, just practice, practice, practice. Yes, I think that's what I'll say
thank
about
you,
that. Yeah.
Priscilla. And then I believe for things he wants to acquire, he has put down communication,
Mm,
Excel skills. Um, yeah,
skills.
yeah,
Okay.
those are the two things he's put down.
Okay. All right. So communication, I think we've talked about that. When it comes to Excel, yes, Excel, I will definitely recommend um if you are someone who is good with learning by yourself, you can just watch YouTube videos and you practice alongside. There are lots of Excel tutorials online where you can even get to advanced level. But if you are not good with learning by yourself, then you can get someone to teach you, right? You can get someone to teach you. And I know also online, there are lots of such courses. You get such courses online for free. You can take them, they are self paced. And so, EDX, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, you can be able to enhance your Excel skills from there. Yes, so that is what I have to say. So, YouTube, taking courses, and also reaching out to people in your network to
Mm,
help out.
okay. Thank you very much, Priscilla. And thank you, John, for sharing with us. That was amazing. So this session is supposed to be interactive. So I'm hoping that more people can send their questions in because if we don't have any further questions in the next 5 minutes, we'll have to close the live. I do have some questions for you, Priscilla, just one or two questions. So in the
Okay,
meantime, guys, while I'm asking
that's
my
fine.
questions, please get your questions in the put your questions in the chat or contributions in the chat, then I can relay them. Yes, my question to you was if you can remind us of the time frames for the goals. So you said short-term goals is 0 to 2 years, um,
Yeah, 0 to 3.
0 to 3 years.
Yes. So you have short term, yeah, 0 to 3. And then you have so between three, some it's varies. I mean, people have there are different
Mm,
opinions on this. Yes. But I'll definitely put short term goals to be 0 to 3, and then from 4 to probably 8 to be medium term, and then 8 plus could be long term. But some also peg it at 10 years plus. Some also peg short term to be 0 to 2 or 1 to 2 even. Yes. But I'll peg them 0 to 3. You can have 4 to 8 and then 8 plus for long term
okay,
goals.
okay. Thank you very much for clarifying that. Um, my next question was, I don't know if anyone's asking this question, but in a position where how can you go about finding mentors if you don't have anyone around you that I would say that you can feel is a potential mentor? How can you go about finding a mentor in today's world? Yeah.
Okay. Mentorship. Yeah, so personally, it took a while. And even now, I can't really say I have landed, that mentor. I have landed. I have people that I talk to about career related things, but not actually landed. So I can really um identify with that. But what I know is that, first of all, if you are looking for a mentor, you have to look within, you have to consider your goals. What are your goals? What do you want to be? Where do you want to get to? Then you now find those people in those spaces, right? And on LinkedIn, the LinkedIn is a professional platform, so you have access to such people, right? So aside LinkedIn, even in your schools, your workplaces, and I know for some, if for some jobs and some organizations, they even assign you to a work mentor. Yes, I remember I have a work mentor. Yes, they can even assign you to a mentor. But if that is not the case, you can just be on the lookout. Even your boss, your supervisor, can be somebody who can mentor you. Some of them, it can be directly official, stated, everything with goals and everything. But for some too, it's indirectly, right? They are open to calls from you and all of that. But just that you have not really formalized the relationship. So how do you go about it? Number one, you have to still go back to your goals, be certain, and then now look within your network, right? You find such people. Some of them you may have to approach them yourself, right? For a mentorship relationship. Some of them you may have to do that officially. Some too, you can just reach out to them as and when you need them to come in. Yes. So when it comes to finding mentors, I think that is the way to go. You can go the official way, formal way, where you ask people if they can mentor you. I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that. But there are some too where you may have to do it indirectly. So your workplace, your supervisor, or someone else, another superior there who is also on the same path that you are in terms of your career, then you can strike a mentorship relationship unofficially. So you can have an unofficial one, unofficial. Look everywhere, LinkedIn, church, everywhere you can find them. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Oh dear.
So then the connection.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh dear. Okay, here we are.
You're
Um,
welcome.
yes, so I'm gonna take a contribution from Christine, and then if the yeah, I think I don't have any more questions, so we'll probably have to end soon. I'll just wrap up in a bit.
Okay.
So Christine very kindly
Okay.
summarized the what you've talked about today. Smart goals,
Mm.
taking advantage of technological advancement, filling our skills gaps when you're in a career, reviewing when you have an action plan, restructuring, and celebrating milestones. So thank you very much, Christine, for your contribution. And I hope that people were also taking notes as well. Speaking of professional development, and even in a way, these kind of programs can be forms of mentorship for you. So anytime you have the opportunity to attend a session like this, please come prepared with your pens and your papers and your notebooks, because sometimes after this program, finding an hour and a half to be able to be focused and really listening can be difficult. So when you're on the live, I would say make sure you be as attentive as possible and ask the questions that you so that when you're on your own time, you can reflect as well. Um, Priscilla has given us her final words. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Priscilla. Um, there's something that we would be looking to do soon. Um, there was going to be a follow-up session on how to create a career, how to choose a career. And I don't know how many people on here feel like they need that session. So it's not a definite session. We wanted to see how many people were interested in that session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the link to register in the chat, so that if you want to register for that session, you can put your name down. We don't want to have a session where there's not much demand um, for it. So please, I'm going to put the link in the chat now. Please register for that session if you feel you need it. Yeah, please register for that session if you feel you need it. Um, also from me, there's also an evaluation form I've put in the chat as well. While you're on this live, please take the opportunity to fill out the evaluation form. Priscilla would like to know um, what your feedback is. We would like to know what your feedback is, the points that stuck out for you, any further questions, any further information you wish you had wanted to this session to cover as well. And then finally from me is we have our life skills training program. Um, and we'll be starting that in April, May. So I'll send all of that in the follow-up email. Some people asked in the chat if they're going to get the recording and the slides. With Priscilla's permission, um, with Priscilla's permission, I'm sure that we might be able to share the slides.
Yes, yes, we can do
Fantastic.
that. We
Yeah.
can
So
do that.
after this session, we will send out an email with the slides. In terms of the recording, this same link that you're on will be the one that you can use to rewatch the video. So just stay, if you want to rewatch it, just stay on the link when we've closed the live, and you can rewatch the live. Yeah, so that's it from me. So follow up evaluation form, registration form if you're interested in how to choose a career path, so that we can have Priscilla again at some point. We'll keep this open until we have enough registrations, and we might include that in our life skills training program in May. So we'll see how Priscilla is available, and we'll see if we can get her for that session. And then finally, for myself, unfortunately, my video is not very clear, but we are a social enterprise, so we are a non-profit, but we also need to be able to make some income or some money to be able to run our programs. Most of our speakers speak for free, which we're very thankful for. Thank you so much, Priscilla. But we don't want to do things for free all the time. We believe that what you value, you put into what you value. So we should be able to also support our speakers when they give us knowledge and information that we use to benefit our lives. So we have an online store, we have an in-person store, and we have merchandise available in Malawi and Ghana. So in the UK, we have our online store where we stock things like this. This one says "No Ordinary Woman." It's a hoodie. We have no ordinary man as well, no ordinary girl, no ordinary guy. So that's also available for you to buy in Ghana and Malawi. I have some information on here, but my screen is not quite okay. I think we might have it. I'll be able to share it on here. So if you can scan the QR code, it's going to take you to our page where you can give us more information provide more information on what you would like to order. So these are the merchandise that we have, t-shirts, and we also have tote bags as well. So next time, I'll send you more information. But please, if you can support the organization, we'll be very grateful. And then I'll end it here by saying thank you to Priscilla. Thank you so much, Priscilla, for sparing your time and the time that you put into just making the slides and even having the meetings that we had at very odd times. God bless you so much. And I pray that people will really be impacted by your work. And I'm sure that people are impacted by your work, but we hope that many more people will be opened up to you, and that you go higher and further. In 3, 5, 4, 10 years time, you'll be on TED Talks and all the places that you want to be on, you know, or yeah, everywhere
Amen.
you want to go, that God just elevates you, and that your career development plan is already touched and is accomplished, in Jesus' name. So thank you so much.
Amen.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for the opportunity as well. I'm
Thank you very
grateful.
much.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
grateful.
so
Thank you.
yes, so we'll send you an email. In the meantime, please visit the links in the chat, and hopefully we will see you in the next event. I'll be sending emails when the next event is coming up. So yes, please keep in touch with us. So I think that's the end of it for us. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. Goodbye for now, and see you soon.